Uh, Welcome back. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
So let's go to another important topic. That is nothing but how to create some sort of tables uh, and even how to work with matrices in the tool. So in this session, I'll be talking about how to create a simple table. So some sort of formatting as well as conditional formattings in the table, and some sort of aggregations are available. Those things, how to change those particular things, and the same applicable with matrix. Also, we will be able to do it. Okay. So first, let's go with a simple basic table creation. Okay. So in this particular basic table creation, again we will take the same data, sales order data, and from this particular data, suppose example, if I want to create a specific table over here, okay, maybe for 4 different columns like subcategory, sales, particular fashion, how do we create this particular table, right? So for creating this, take another new field here. So we have one important option, that is nothing but tables over here. Simply drag this. Okay, you can see the basic format of the table. Okay, and this particular table, let me add fields into this. So for adding fields into this, you can understand, right? So this time we will be having only one thing, that is nothing but called as columns over here. Okay, so column option is there where we can try to add the data. So for adding the data, let's go to this. First of all, let me add subcategories. Okay, so you can see all these 17 subcategories that are there, right? In the subcategory, accessories, appliances, art, vendors, bookcase. So this the default subcategory. So for each subcategory, I just want to know what is the total sales. Let's assume like that. So what I can try to do is I can add, drag again sales. Okay, so you can see the total accessories sales are 1,67,000 and so on, for arts and so on, right? And if I want to bring, maybe for this accessories, I'm interested in knowing what is a profit or maybe some other things. You can bring profit also into the picture. Let us add another thing that is also called as quantity. In this way, I can try to add as many as columns. If I want to delete, I can simply click on this and I can delete it. Okay, it's not only that you just select the column field and simply drag onto the table, and you even we can drag over there. In this way also, we can try to, what to call it as, drag and drop the options, profit, okay, and maybe quantity, like this. Everything also we can try to do it. Okay, now if I want to zoom in, zoom out, that this focus option is also there here. Okay, if you want this data to be little bit bigger, or maybe some sort of things you want to change, then you can go to the values. See, you can increase values, maybe the font or whatever the font types. Okay, maybe Courier new font. It depends, right? It depends upon your interest. Some Arial I have taken, maybe bold. So all these formattings we can do over here. Even if you want the text colors, you can change here. Alternatively, text colors is coming. What may be the reason, that also I'll tell you. Okay, background color of the table. Okay, alternative background color will fix like this thing. This type of changes we can do in the values. If you simply click on reset, everything will go. Column headers, this one subcategory and all the stuff, right? If you want to change those things, you can change those. Okay, background color, maybe some other background color can be added. Those particular things can be into the center. Okay. So even down totals, okay, you can change those particular totals. Bold, we'll go with blue, some dark pink. Like this, you can change, or you can try to what to call it as format a particular table. Specific column also you can change. You can see here the subcategory. Okay, so which column do you need? Suppose example, sum of profits is there. Okay, apply to the header. Okay, or total, whatever options. I'll change a little bit dark. You can see, right? Specifically, some other color. Previously means everything was in the same color, right? So you can change in this way. Only that series you have to change. Okay, background color. Okay, like this. We'll discuss this in detail. So these are nothing but some of the formattings for that particular table. And an important thing is also there here in the values. Let me increase values little bit bigger. If you want this see accessories and all the stuff, maybe alphabetical order you want it, default it is alphabetical order only. If this you want it, you can change. Okay, alphabetical order, or you can change those things based on the sales. Okay, lowest to highest or highest to lowest. Okay, in this way anything you can, I mean, you can try to bring some sort of formattings onto the field. And if I want to remove this sum of sales from here, let's assume, okay, simply what you can try to do is, you can go to your visual, sum of sales, you can remove. Okay, like this you can try to build what to call it as tables onto the tool. Okay, so we have already seen this formatting, right? So in this way you can format, right? So titles I have changed. Okay, title, from where we can try to change the title is, title changes will be there all the time in the general category. Formatting, general, title on off. You can give some title to that. uh, I'm simply giving table. Okay, and headings you can increase, font size, font type, color, everything you can try to change. Dark blue, this somewhere dark black, alignments, all these things we have seen even in the previous case also. Okay, background of the table. Okay, that particular table background transparency, how much you need it. Okay, visual borders, maybe some specific. Okay, border you can see, right? Border red color for that particular entire table. Border was red in color. In the effects field, visual border transparency, how much you want it. Okay. Shadow if you want for the table. Okay, I'm setting as reset. So these things are there in the effect. Uh, Title, we have seen effects. Header icons, we have seen tooltips. This I'll tell when specific example will come. Header icons. Okay, this one, right? These are the header icons. Border for those header icons. Like this, you can change. Icon color was a black, right? Previously, so now if you want white, you can change. So these formattings can be done on every table, right? So if you want even icon changes, see visual error icon. These are the different icons. Right now we can see only a few icons, focus and all the stuff. Export data, show as a table, remove automatically, find, spotlight, sort ascending, sort descending, sort by. So these are the default icons which are available with us. Okay, focus you can see, right? Sort by category. Okay. So previously it was sorted on some other field. Now this time it was categorized. If you want in the profit increasing order, because here we have kept the increasing or decreasing order. Okay. So that's about some basic formattings that are there on even on the table. Now another important thing that is nothing but the conditional formatting. This is very important actually. So what do you mean by this conditional formatting is, suppose even we have seen, right? Let me take one example. This thing is example. I'll remove all those things. Insert a table. Okay. Add columns. I'll bring subcategory. Sales. Sales. Quantity and profit. Well, increase little bit. Okay. So this is what actually the basic table insertion. Now suppose example, what I want to do is we have already seen how to assign a specific color to that particular values, right? So this grids we no need. Style representation of the table, see minimal, or what to call it as border header. These are the different uh, what to call it as representations of the style of the table, entire table, right? So border headers only should be there in some color, or maybe alternative row color changings. These are the different formats of uh, flashy rows. Okay, so these are the different representations, right? So anyway, we'll go with the basic default representation. And whenever we are trying to do this particular representation, there are so now representations, grids, values, custom headers. Go to cell alignment. Now you can see here, suppose apply settings to the subcategory or some any case. Now I'm taking one as sales. Okay. So for that particular sales, the background color I'm owning, and you can see the color structure in this way, right? So you can see that the phones have the high dark color, and you can see, right? So I'll change the color to some other. So so the default color was actually blue. If you want to change, you can go to the conditional formatting over here, FX. And in this, you can see here the format style. Okay, apply to, you just will talk about this when we talk about the filtering. I just want to tell only one thing that see, the lowest color was given as light blue and the highest color was given this one. Okay, so we'll go with this red, so it will be easy for us to view. Okay, so you can see there, right? So it means what exactly is happening is we can simply uh, in this way, right? If I change ascending or descending, it gives me what to call it as this. Okay, so from highest to lowest, the color increase, sorry, color decreasing is happening, so that even we can identify that definitely there is decrease in the sales for so and so category. Okay, now font color, or if you want to add, we can bring another thing that is nothing but I'll go with this another I'll go with the quantity. I'll represent in the form of even bars. Okay, you can see, right? Color representation can also be done, or like this bars representation also can be done. So bar representation, you can see here. Now I'm sorting based on the sum of the quantity. So highest bar means highest value. Like this, even we can specifically bring what to call it as a condition, or we can try to bring some conditional formattings into the picture. Okay, now for sum of profits, let us go to the sum of profits here. So in the cell alignment, sum of quality, this time it will be profit. What we can try to do is we'll bring another thing that is called as icons. You can activate the icons. So you see that the default icons are three: circles, okay, triangle, and diamond. Okay, so it simply represents the what to call it as the categorization. So circles means this is one category, this is another category, this is the lower category, like this. Okay, so defaultly the categorizations also can be done. So even if you want to change this particular what to call it as icons means, okay, we have conditional formattings in the icon. See the style representations, we have many representations, right? Okay, so icon layout, left of the data, icon layout top. See, you can represent like if value is greater than equal to 0% and less than 33%, then this particular icon. Okay, so we can choose based on, this is a style, this is one type of style, all these are different type of styles, you can see, right? Okay, stars, left, right, arrow marks, not equal to s. Okay, like this there are some representations. So let me talk about this basic representation first. Okay, so then we can give this column percentage, or if 33 to 67 percentage is there, then triangle 67 to 100%, circle, like this. These are the basic representation. How we got it means we are not bothered about it. the representation of the icon representation itself will be happening in there, and this will be the basic icon representation. If you want to change, we can change to some other category, like suppose arrow representations. So in the arrow representations, you see there are four categories here. One, top, little bit slighted, down, and entirely down. The four category representation. So you should, I mean, there may be chances that in your data you want to represent in three categories or two categories, or it depends. So based on your dependency, what you can try to do is you can choose the style of those particular icons into the picture. Okay, if I go with some other style representation, maybe see, you see here, this one, two, three, four, five representations are there. Okay, you can see. So it depends how to choose that particular icon representation is. It's up to the user's choice. Okay, so that is about what to call it as conditional formatting. Okay, so the conditional formatting will allows us, I mean, the view representations will be very easy for us. Okay, by seeing the data itself we will be able to identify. So if I see in this quantity, in the binders the quantity is a little bit more. Okay, so in that way you can try to do any type of conditional formattings in the table. It depends. Okay, by seeing itself we will be able to identify. That's it. Based on such type of things also we can try to do it. And another important feature is also there. Previously we were take whenever we are talking about some data, let me take this. I'll try to change all these alignments. Cell alignment, background, I'll represent icons of. Okay, and everything I have to change. Yeah, everything is off for subcategory. For the sales, background is on. For the sales quantity, bars we have seen. Okay, right. Right, so this is my what to call it as a basic representation of my data. So now here, whenever we have seen, one thing we have observed is whatever the data that it is there with us, it was only simply the basic representation of the data, and in that particular representation the aggregation functions, whatever we call the aggregations functions. Okay, uh, suppose you see here this sum of sales. Okay, so this particular sum of sales is the total sum, actually the total sum of the quantity and the profit and all the stuff. So if you want to change those particular things also, we can try to change okay, now let's go to this sum of sales. No, not that. The visuals. Okay. See, don't summarize first, last, count, conditional formatting. Yeah. One thing I'm missing, I want minimum of those particular values actually. Where is that? Just a second. Yeah, I think I have to restart my this. Once I'll restart it and I'll just bring back. Maybe some properties has been changed. Let me introduce table. In this data itself is not there. Orders. Code. Okay, data has come. Now let me take subcategory sales profit and quantity. Now suppose example I just want my what to call it as let me first increase the size of this values. Okay. No, actually, I don't know what happened. It is not. So suppose example in this, the default, whatever the values that are there, this subcategory you might have seen. Let me change that. Not even specific column, column headers. Okay, so we have this column headers now. When I talk about the sales, it is sum of sales actually. Okay, so I don't want the sum of all these accessories. There may be chances that I want some other data like minimum sales, how much had happened. Okay, maybe average. So some aggregation functions are available. So what you can try to do is just go to the category, whatever the category that you are looking, and just simply click on it, and you can see that was a default sum value. Okay, you can go with the average of the accessories. Okay, you can see the values like average sales value, or maybe uh, I'll go with the minimum values, or maybe I'll go with the minimum of you can see observe it, right? The count, like this, it depends on what type of parameters you want it, right? The previously the default was only on one thing, that is nothing but called as the simple values, right? In that way, even we can try to change or modify these particular cases. And even if you want sales, simply I'll make it as sum. That's it. Okay. So this is about what to call it as the aggregating functions, whatever we see it. And another important thing, whenever in the aggregation functions, even there may be chances that sometimes you want to show the like this, if the profit is in the format of percentages, then in that particular case, just go to the profit here. Okay, show value as percentage of grand total. Okay, so you can see the profits are in the grand total, sum of percentage in the grand total, it depends. So such type of aggregating functions are available. Okay, so quantity, if I'm talking, say these are the aggregation functions, right? Some, average, minimum, maximum, count. Okay, distinct count, and original count is also there. Standard deviation, variance, mean. Okay, along with that, we have percentage of grand total is also available. So this is about what to call it as some aggregating functions which are available on the table. So that's about the tables. So whenever tables are there, we have seen almost all how to create a table, how to add the data, how to change. And another important thing also I just want to show here, that is nothing but here, whatever the sales that we are talking. So maybe the sales, sum of sales is there. If you want this particular sum of sales, I will make everything as sum of sales. Okay, we'll go with another thing. Another important. Now, previously we have seen what to call it as the form was in the tables, right? You can see this, right? Copier, subcategory, copiers, and all the stuff is there. Accessories. Okay, we'll make sure that we have in the increasing. Okay. Now, sometimes I need data in the form of matrix also. Okay, so in the what to call it as in the previous, what happens is how to create a matrix. Sorry, this example, I'll add new thing. Here there is an option called as matrix. So this was the table. You can click on the matrix. You can bring the matrix into the picture. Now, whenever we are bringing this matrix onto the picture, let's try to create a matrix for some fields. So this time you see for the matrix, three important things are important. One is rows. The second one is columns, and what to call it as okay, and values, right? Rows, columns, as well as values. So in the rows, we'll bring the subcategory. In the columns, we'll bring region into the picture. So will be able to identify, okay, in this particular specific region, okay, this much of you can see the table, right? I mean, it is small actually over there, but anyway, see the subcategory are there: central, east, south, and west. Okay, subcategory in this particular range. And now I want some values into it. Values in the sense there may be chances that I'll bring sales into the picture. Okay, so sales. Now you can see. Let's increase the values, right? So now I'm not going to increase the sizes and all the stuff. So now this particular data is available with us. So column headers will increase. Okay, bold, and in between simultaneously row headers are also can be increased. So purple size, let me increase. Okay, column subtotals, even you can change all those things also. Okay, what type of things? Specific columns, cell elements. Cell elements we have already seen, right? Conditional formatting, whatever we have done, same story that we have done, we can do over here. Column grand total, column grand this thing. Okay, this and this you can do it. Okay, so this is simply a matrix representation, and even in the previous we have seen one thing. Okay, in the previous one, this one. So this representation is in the table representation. Okay, this representation is in the matrix representation. What may be the difference between these two things? Okay, so even you can see what to call it as, we have taken here the subcategory central wise. I got some data over here, and even in the matrix also, even I'll try to change here. Profit sales. Maybe suppose if I try to bring this was represented in the region wise, right? So if I bring region into the picture, you see what is the main difference. Okay, so simply we are getting this subcategory. Now let's bring sales into the picture. So this is how actually if I represent a table for subcategory, region, and sum of sales, this is how it look likes. But if I represent the same data in the form of matrix, this representation is done. So representing in the form of matrix will be more beneficial than comparing with this. Okay, see, accessories central, accessories east, accessories south, accessories west. Okay, like this appliances, art, for every subcategory region wise it has been displayed. So representing, rather than representing in this, we can represent in this particular format. And whatever we have done the formatting for the tables, everything, even we can work on the matrices also, but the representation is entirely different. Conditional formattings also can be done. Okay, what to call it as, now instead of sales, we'll bring some other thing and we'll look into the picture. You see here, we have the data has become big. Okay, so See, in the central, sum of sales, sum of profits. In the east, okay, sum of sales, sum of profit, right? So this type of representation definitely will be useful for us. And even we can try to bring, suppose I can go to this formats, cell alignment. Okay, if I want, I can on the data bars. Can change the profit bar to some other color. This type of formattings, it's up to us. Okay, but I'll go with the default. Now another uh, interesting is also there. Creating matrix system, conditional formatting. We have seen we can add all those things, right? How to add icons and all the stuff you can do. Hierarchies in matrix. So one of the added point with the hierarchies in matrix is nothing but what happens is we will be able to get more more information in a less space. Suppose example, I just want data like this. You can see my data is furnitures, office supplies and technologies. This is a category, and in that subcategory we have, right? So in the subcategory consumers, corporate office, we have these fields, right? Copiers, phones, accessories and so on, all these are under subcategory. I just want to look in this particular format. Yeah, where is that? Yeah, this one, right? Okay, in the south, this hierarchical structure we need it. Okay, so for that simply let's go to example. We'll bring new thing again. We'll bring matrix. We'll try to add, we'll bring first category, yeah, here. Okay, and in the values we'll bring all the time sales. Try to increase the value, this one. Okay, so here you see, here in this we have column headers, row headers. So this is actually what to call it as hierarchies. Like this is the simple, right? On the specific category, this is the sales what had happened to us. Now what I want is in this category, I want some subcategory. Okay, so what I can try to do, simply I'll bring subcategory into, bring this, I'll take subcategory and I'll add in the rows. You can see, simply drag down the rows. So now you can see here we have some plus point. So where you click on this, so on the furnitures, bookcases are this much, chairs are this much. Okay, like this you will be able to check it. Okay, so this is how hierarchical is there. Now suppose example, there may be chances that even I want in the form of regions. Sometimes on a region base people may ask you. Okay, so you can see here regions have got central, east, south, west. Okay, furnitures on that specific region, this thing had happened. Okay, or maybe this hierarchy itself you want it. So furnitures, bookcases in all the regions, chairs in all the regions, like this. Or if you want region wise subcategory, then simply category, region, and subcategory. So in the furniture, in the central, bookcases, chairs, furnishing this much, and in the east like this. Even you can go with this one. So hierarchies definitely will help us. I mean, what to call it as, in a shorter way, I can try to show more data. Okay, I mean, simply if someone asks me how much sales are happened, or maybe by this example clearly. Okay, so how much sales are happened, or maybe if I want to add profit also, I can add over here. Okay, see sum of sales and sum of profits. This will be very interesting actually. The main agenda of creating matrices is this one. Okay, simply I can say that the total profit on the category furniture is this much. Okay, now people may ask us, okay, can you just define me on this like region wise? Then I can say in the region wise, central, east, south, and west, this much is there. Okay, if I don't want in the region wise, simply I can say I can remove that region wise, and I can say, yeah, furnitures this much, for bookcases profit is this much, for chairs this much, furnishing is this much, and the total profit is this one. I mean, I can say based on the furnitures, I'm in the loss itself. Okay, because my profit is this much. Okay, and I can simply see this. Okay, so somewhere I'm into the range. Okay, somewhere I'm getting in bookcases, maybe I'm in negative profit, maybe in the chairs I'm in positive, and furnishing I'm in the positive, and in the tables I'm negative. So overall I can try to get information in this particular category. Okay, so it's up to the user's choice, right? How he want to bring and how he want to work on this. Okay, so that's about hierarchies in what to call it as simply, I mean, categorization hierarchies. Now, what I'll do is I'll remove this profit. Right, this is what actually our basic data. Now, even you can do the formatting for this one. Okay, what you can try to do is, see, you have overall furniture, these things. There may be chances that you like here, even it looks like table and so on. Even if you want to change something on this, you can simply go to visuals. Okay, and values we have seen, column headers, row headers. Yeah, see, column grand totals here, you can try to change it. Okay, you can do that type of changes also. You can change to red. Okay, grand, I'm talking about the entire rows grand total. If you want to change some color, you can change it. Specific column, cell alignments also, okay, so that's about this thing. Okay, column headers, row headers, column subtotal, row subtotal. If you don't want that also, you can on and off. You can see, right? If you want, you can bring it, or else no. So furniture is this much. I mean, we can bring those things, right? But I don't know the total. So simply what had happened, row subtotal. Of course, we don't have any extra columns, so no need of worrying about the columns and all the stuff here. So this type of things we can try to change. Okay, subtotals and totals in the matrix also. The last and another important, my favorite is, I'll introduce again a matrix. This time I'll take what to call it as subcategory. Okay, where is my sales? Sales, profit, quantity. Sorry, taken in the wrong way. Those only rows means want in the subcategory. These are the rows. Now the values means I have to introduce in the values. I can bring sales, yes, quantity, any other thing, profit. Every time it is, I have to change it. Okay. Now when we are doing this, you can see here another interesting thing. See the sum of the sales. I'll change this headers also. Oh, header. Column headers bold, make in the center something. Now you see this, whatever the data that is there. Okay, so formatting is also very important for us. Formatting in the sense, I just want this particular copiers in the, I mean, instead of thousands or milli thousands, something like that. Okay, we can try to change the data types of those things and all the stuff. So for that, what we can, you see this value is in the, what to call it as, it's in the decimal point. So I just want to, uh, okay, okay, I want to change this. So what I can try to do is simply click on this. Okay, I'll go to here, specific column, sum of sales. Suppose example, uh, display units. Okay, so I want this display units like thousands, millions, billions, trillions. We can bring this. Okay, in this way, I mean, instead of previously it was only simply what to call it as, it's in numbers and all the stuff, right? So we can change those things. The other thing is also missing here. uh, just a second. Select this. Sales, Actually, when I select this, I'll get here one new. Okay, anyway, let it be. Fine. So if I just want to change those things, simply what I can try to do is just go to those particular anything, right? Sum of profits if I want, go to sum of profits, select on this value, specific column. Okay, you can go scroll little bit down. Okay, display units, uh, thousands is given. So you can, okay, here we have to select that sum of profit, display units is thousands. Okay, now in this way thousand some display unit is there. If even if you want to change this, suppose null value is there, some negative value is there, not an issue. But suppose example, if you want this decimal numbers also to be converted, so value to the decimals you can change, right? You can see here decimal places, how many decimal places you want it. Okay, that type of things also we can try to do in this particular case. Okay, so display units also we can try to change based on this. In this way, what to call it as, we can even format whatever the data that is available on the uh, table or matrix or whatever it is there. Okay, so that's about another important thing, that is number formatting in the matrix. Okay, so that's my fourth session. Okay, so in this we have simply seen how to create a table. I mean, some of the formattings as well as conditional formattings in the table was very important. And the next one, we have seen some aggregations. Instead of going to only the sum, we might have seen minimum, maximum, and all the stuff. And the same thing has been applicable for the matrix also. And hierarchies was very important, that we have seen, and the formatting of the values also we have seen. So that's about what to call it as formattings for a table as well as matrix, right? Now let's go to another important, from here I'll stop it today. I'll stop this formattings and all the stuff, because yeah, data calculations, visualizations, formatting tools, menu formatting, specific part. Okay, so everything has been covered here. Editing has been done, manipulating the data, we have to do this. Structuring, manipulating, we have to do. Sorting and filtering, that we have done. Yeah, we'll talk this tomorrow, not an issue. Okay, so now another interesting topic is also there with me. I think we have another 10 minutes. So I'll go with this also. This is also very interesting thing actually. Okay, so cards and filters. Okay, so we have concept of cards over here. So there are a few cards like number cards, text cards, and date cards are there. So these particular cards will be very useful when we really deal with whenever we are trying to create our what to call it as uh, data. Sorry, whenever we are trying to create this thing. So what do you mean by this card and all the stuff? Suppose this is one example. This is a number card. So what I want to do is, see, I have taken sales, profit, and quantity. These are the three cards that I have created. So now what I'm gonna do is, I just want to check on the California state. Okay, you can see the sales, profit, and quantity has been changed. It means that, suppose example, if I go with some other Texas, so you can see when I go with the Texas, I just want that particular data. So whatever the data that is there, I want in the form of a card. Okay, so this will be very easy way. If someone asks me that what is the profit in Texas, so definitely I can say that my profit level is negative. Okay, and the sales is this much. Like this, I can try to give instead of giving elaborate explanations and all the stuff. I can go with representing cards in this way. So now let's start how to create a particular card. So for this, again, I'll remove all these things. Okay, so there is an option called as card here, 1, 2, 3 representing. Simply you can click on a card. Okay, I'll simply show this simple example. Formatting will talk tomorrow. So let me create second card and third card. I have created 3 different cards. Just moving. Okay, now on the first card we have fields. That's it. We have add data fields here. That's it. So in the first card, what I'm going to do is I'm simply adding my sales. Okay, so sum of sales has been given. So if you don't want sum of sales, even you can try to change that, right? Simply click, right click on average, minimum sales, maximum sales, how many maximum sales had happened. Like this, it's up to you, but the default it is sum. So if you want any changes, you can do that later on. And second card, let us go with another thing, that is quantity. Third card, let's go with the profit. Okay, so these sum of sales, sum of quantity, sum of profit. Okay, so these are nothing but these are my basic sales on specific. I have not given any specific category or something. It's a generalized way, right? So sum of sales, the total number of sales that had happened is this much, quantity is this much, sum of the profit is this much. Now what I want to do is I just want in a specific category or maybe in a location. So even we know that how to create or to call it as create a map over here. Simply create a map. Okay, basic map I have created, and definitely I have to add state into that particular map, and in the bubbles we'll go with some sales. Based on the sales, now it will tell me. Okay, so you can see here, right? Even you can increase this size. Maps we have already seen, those things you can go over there. Now simply California, sum of sales are this much. Okay, and suppose example, if I'm going with the Texas, this way, in this way we can try to create what to call it as okay, create the card. So this will be an added point with the cards. It is not that all the time we bring only graphs into the picture. Sometimes tabular data is also available with us. Now let me take one table. Let me create a table here. So some table has been created. In the table, what I'm going to do is I'll be adding some data like on a specific subcategory and the sales. Okay, now this also can be added cards. You see, accessories, sum of see the relation, right? If I'm talking about something called as machines, okay, sum of sales is this much, 189 to 38.63. I have not added quantity and profit. If I want on the table, I can bring those things also here. Okay, let me bring those things onto the table, quantity and profit. You can see on the machines it is 182 something, quantity is 440, some of the profits is this much. In this way, even it's not only that maps or something, you can bring on the tables or matrices or whatever, and you can try to check it, and you see everything, right? Suppose example, if I'm choosing California, okay, so in the California, what exactly is happening? It is simply telling me this thing, and suppose example in accessories, wherever changes are there, the bubbles has been increased. So in this way we can try to bring what to call it as cards into the picture. Okay. So this particular cards will be very useful whenever we are dealing with what to call it as simple basic data and all the stuff. Okay. So this is even to bring. Okay, so formatting and all the stuff we'll see tomorrow, these particular cards, and we'll try to go with some calculations parts in tomorrow's class, manipulating, or we till now we have seen only the structured data. Structured means whatever the data was there, everything was pre-processed actually. So on the pre-processed data we are able to deal, but what happens when we are trying to deal with unpreprocessed data? In that particular case, definitely we have to do the some other cases. Okay, so that's about number cards and all the stuff. Okay, so I think today we will wind up here and we'll meet again in tomorrow's class. And if any doubts are there, let me know here.
Dear participants, if you have got any doubt, please ask. Sir, today's session is very interesting and you were very patient.
Yes, yes,
Hello.
yes. Yes.
Myself, Amruta Sarodkar from SGU, sir.
Yes,
I want to ask one thing. Each and every data is should be prepared with Excel. That means .csv file, or means it should be pre-processed.
No, no, no.
Each and every.
No, that's what again you see here. See here, get data. These are the forms of the data. Whatever the data that you want it, these are the different forms. Just a second. Yeah, these are the forms, right? We have files related data like Excel sheet, CSV, XML, or JSON data is there. PDF data is there. Okay.
You can't see the screen, sir.
You can't view this. Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
Screen is not shared.
I have stopped it, I think. Now is it okay?
Yes.
So you see,
Yes.
get data,
Yeah,
just
visible.
go to the data.
Visible.
Okay, click on more. I mean, all the options will be available in front of you. Previously, I was just only going with this. Okay, so you see, these are the categories: files, database,
Okay.
Power Platform, Azure, online services. Okay, other. So these are the different categories of the data, whatever it is there: Excel, CSV, XML, JSON, folder, PDF, SharePoint. If I specifically go to the databases, these are the different databases. Oracle database, I can try to extract. Okay, so these are the different type of databases, Power Platform. So it depends what type of the data is there. Okay, so till today we have taken only the Excel sheet. From tomorrow onwards, we'll go with some other format and we'll take. So in Excel sheet, what I have said is, before we are trying to load, now let's assume, suppose example, if I'm taking only the what to call it as pre-processed cleaned data. So Excel sheet, I have just clicked it. Some Excel sheet I'm opening, some data, I'm not bothered about it. Okay. So whenever I'm trying to do it, here the options will be available for me. Whether your data is pre-processed or whether your data is not pre-processed. So if the data is pre-processed, then you can simply load it. Click on load, your data will be loaded. If it is not pre-processed, then we have to pre-process the data. Okay, so for that we'll talk. This is the data, and now in tomorrow's session we'll see how unprocessed, I mean how to do the pre-processing of the data here.
Okay. So this tool is beneficial for mining also. That means text mining.
Yes. Any type of analytics you can do on this.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Fine, ma'am.
Any other queries? Sir, it seems people have not do not have any queries. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind session, and you were very patient in explaining each and every micro concepts. Thank you, sir. So, dear participants, we will meet and continue rest of the my Power BI sessions on tomorrow. Again, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, the link will be shared in the WhatsApp group. You people can join. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.